Well, hello. Hi. Welcome to another Talking Heads vlog. I I know this is going to be a vlog. That's it. That's all I know. So this is an introduction to what I'm going to be probably calling my birthday vlog, because today is indeed on March 3rd, which is a Sunday. It is indeed my birthday. Now, if you want to know how old I am, I'm going to give you the same answer that I tell my students, and that is that I am a vampire, if you didn't know. I am a vampire, and I'm around 177. Do lose track a little bit when you're this old, but that's what I tell my students, and that's what I'm going to tell you. Ever since I've turned, I think, 18, I have been, which is, 160 or so years ago, I have been very shy. I tend to be quite shy about my birthday, and I don't telegraph it. But so why am I getting on the internet telling like several hundred people? It's because I don't know. Oh, I guess I partly wanted to show some birthday gifts and some gifts in general. Some of them are bookish and some of them are not. So I don't know if I'll share all my gifts. But anyways, I have kind of a haul. It's not even really a birthday haul. Here's the haul. I'll flash it on the screen real quick. So one book is actually from Ted, my husband, for my birthday. And it is Suetonius's The 12 Caesars. I think I just like the alliterative sound, Suetonius and 7. But yeah, Suetonius is The 12 Caesars. I don't even know that much about this. It's a chronicle, public careers, private lives of men who have wielded absolute power over Rome. And I was really excited to see this. I have an interest in the ancient classics. So yeah, there's that. I'm like pushing it off to the side. I also have this book so here's what happens is that I get offers for ARCs pretty often, actually. People are always wanting me to send their, like, an advanced reader well, I don't know. It happens. It's like, it goes in waves. Some people really want me to read, or they want to give, I don't know. They want to give me their advanced reader copies of things. And I often, like, I don't know, 99 out of 100 times I say, no, thank you. Or I don't even really get back to the email, because I don't know. They're just, I don't have the time to respond to every email I get. And so sometimes it's just like a no response from me. That's probably not great, like, business skills. However, every once in a while, something comes across my email that sounds pretty interesting, and it piques my interest. It sounds interesting and it piques my interest. Those are the same thing, Shelley. And so I actually said yes to Boyhood by Ravon Fenton. The author is actually a writer for the New York Post, and this is his debut novel. Now, when he reached out, I think it was actually the author that reached out. I don't know, I was impressed by his background. Sometimes when I get emails to offer me books, it doesn't seem, sometimes it seems very grassroots. Like, somebody wrote a book, they're self-publishing it, and they're trying to get it out into the hands of readers. And since I'm a public reader, they try and get it out to me. And then there are other ways in which something looks like there is a team behind it. There are editors and publishers, and it seems like it's been, combed through, looked at, and it's all kind of come together into a novel in which a whole team has helped it come together. And that's more of what I'm interested in. It's like the team effort, partially because it means the product is more vetted. Not that self-published things aren't good or anything like that. It's just I only have a limited amount of time, and so I would prefer something that is a little more polished and vetted than something that is not. And so this book seemed like it was polished and vetted. And so I said yes to it. But it is also, it says it's a funny, poignant, and revelatory novel while plumbing the emotional depths of a relationship between estranged brothers. And it's about a Jewish man going on a journey. Yeah, it sounded interesting, and it like piqued my interest. There, I did it again. What is happening? I don't know. And also just knowing that the writer has had a career in journalism, which sounded, really good as well. Okay, I'm going to stop going on about that book in particular. Then my friend Anita sent me books just because, because her and I love each other. I adore Anita. She's amazing. If you don't know, not that you should, Anita is a good friend of mine. We met on YouTube, and we've done pretty much a year's worth of buddy reads, like continuous buddy reads. And it's been great. Like, we've had some really amazing books. We read like Demon Copperhead together, and then some really terrible books like Covenant of Water. So we are just we're book sisters, basically. Like, we have similar, or book twins even. We have super similar tastes in what we're interested in reading. And so she sent me a bunch of books, which was so kind. And actually she got me some like book sections of a newspaper as well. And so she just treated me to a lot of bookish things. And it happened to come like 2 days before my birthday. I think it came on Friday. So anyways, we have The Chamomile Lawn. This is by Mary Wesley. Tell me if you've read this. I literally had never even heard of this before, but here's what it is. It says, it is August 1939, and 5 cousins have gathered at their aunt's house in Cornwall for their autumnal summer holiday and ritual terror run. So it's like these kids coming together. Let's see what the writing is like. This was first published in, 1984. And it was reprinted in 2006. Helena Cuthbertson picked up the crumpled Times by her sleeping husband and went to the flower room to iron it. When she had suggested they should buy 2 copies of the paper so that each could enjoy it in its pristine state, Richard had flared into rage, and his accusations of extravagance had gone on for weeks, made worse when she pointed out that it was her money that paid the paper bill. Sounds like a tumultuous marriage right then and there. I also, in that same box, was gifted My Policeman by Beth Ann Roberts. Now this is set in 1950s Brighton, and it's about Marion and Tom, who are kind of love at first sight, or love it like, infatuation at first glance. He teaches her to swim, gently guiding her through the water in the shadow of the city's famous pier. And Marion is smitten, determined her love alone will be enough for them both. And then Tom meets Patrick, and Patrick is besotted and opens Tom's eyes to a glamorous, sophisticated new world of art and travel. So let's see what the writing is like. Peacehaven, October 1999. So maybe it'll jump back and forth in time. I considered starting with these words, I no longer want to kill you, because I really don't. But then decided you would think this far too melodramatic. You've always hated melodrama, and I don't want to upset you now. Not in the state you're in. Not at what may be the end of your life. Oh gosh, okay, well, it's quite intense. It's an intense starting there, but exciting nonetheless. Okay, then I have Himself by Jess Kidd. This is abandoned on the steps of an Abandoned on the steps of an orphanage as an infant, Mahoney always assumed that his mother had simply given him up. But when he discovers that foul play may have led to her disappearance, he decides to return to the rural Irish village where he was born to learn what really happened those years ago. So Jess Kidd is an Irish author, and this, it also starts like with a date, like My Policeman. So this is May 1950. The opening line in this is actually a scene of like abuse, and so I'm actually going to skip reading this online. I've tried a couple times, and I'm just like, I think you have to read a little bit further to get some context, and I'm just gonna say it's like it's a violent scene. That's what opens the book. And then the last book is by an author that I've been loving, and it is Tana French's The Searcher. So this is her first book in the Cal Hooper series, and what's interesting, Shelley, get it together. What I'm reading her Dublin Murder Squad series, and I think this might have originally been a standalone, but the next book in the series is going to come out this month in 2024. So, so first book in what is now a series, and it says Cal Hooper thought a fixer-upper in a remote Irish village would be the perfect escape. After 25 years in the Chicago police force and a bruising divorce, he wants to build a new life in a pretty spot with a good pub where nothing much happens. And then it sounds like he gets pulled back in. I really enjoy Tana French's writing. So those are all the books that were gifted to me, partly for birthday reasons and mostly for not. So that was really exciting to get these books. I went to go find a book and I lost it. I don't know, well, it's not lost, like nowhere to be found. I just don't know where it's at. I'm like, what happened? So I will tell you that I'm like so close to being finished with The Likeness by Tana French, and it's fantastic. It just hits this stride in the last quarter that is so good. I'm just like, wow. I don't know. In a weird way, like I pinpointed the murder way back. Like I just thought, okay, well, from what I know about, I don't know, like in my own observations of character study and whatnot, I was like, oh, let's try this. And, I think it's this person rather, that's a better way of saying it. And I ended up being right, which I'm shocked by, because I'm never right about those things. But it was really less about who done it, and it was more about like the motivations and the why, and I love books like that. So yeah, let me show you the wild mess that's in this room. For anybody who thinks I'm organized, I will shatter those expectations right now. I'm going to show that to you, and then I'm going to go. I have some other things to talk about for different videos. So I will kind of bid adieu for this clip. But I'm so excited to start another kind of like week vlog or Talking Heads vlog. They're always really fun. This is the mess for my videos, and I just forgot to clean it up. It's just such a mess. It's such a mess. Hey, so it's Monday, and I was like, I just need to I'm like adjusting this. I'm adjusting that light. I was like, I really wanted to talk about some of the gifts that I was given on my birthday, and then one random gift. So one of my students just randomly was like, do you like Gigi? And I was like, is she talking about Gilmore Girls? Oh my gosh, I just realized that I have a little bit of this here, like a tan, and I was like, why would I have a random tan line? And I was like, oh, it's because I wear my lanyard all day, my school ID lanyard, and I sit outside for like 20 minutes every day. So I'm getting some sun, and I'm getting a tan line for my lanyard. Oh my goodness. But anyways, one of my students was like, do you like Gigi? And I was like, Gilmore Girls? I love Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls so much. And then she proceeded to give me this. And I about lost my mind. I love Gilmore Girls. I love it. I straight up lost my mind. I love it so much. So yeah, I have this now, and it's a little magnet bookmark. So I'm so excited about this. So exciting. I am actually only reading digital books at this particular moment. But once I have a physical book, I will be using this little guy. I'm so excited. I really like flipped out. I mean, with excitement. And then I wanted to show you, so I have these pants. They're super wide leg pants from what used to be an Etsy seller, but I think they have their own like domain shopping place called Linen Fox, and they're super, super wide leg flowy pants. And I really wanted them in navy. I have them in like this wheat color, which I like, but you know, I wanted them in another color since I have worn the other ones to bits. I bought them, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and I've worn them so much. And so I'll hopefully have a little insert of me showing you the pants. And then I also got tennis shoes. So I am really trying to be practical about the clothes that I'm buying and the accessories that I'm buying. I have sorted out my color palette because I just want things to match. I want to feel and look cohesive. So like brown and navy and like white in all its iterations are part of my color palette, and these shoes fit in perfectly. Yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to show you. When something else comes to mind and I have a minute, I will definitely be back. It has been several days since I last checked in. I think I was like in this chatty mood, and then I don't want to say I forgot. Life has been busy. more social. It's been like social engagements here, there, and everywhere, hither and thither and yon, and you know, it's been a lot. No bad social engagements. They've all been really pleasant, really wonderful. It's so great to connect with others, and it's just energetically, I am an introvert, and so visiting and being around a lot of other people on one hand does fuel me, but on the other, like it's this lovely sense of connection and embracing others and getting to know others more, which is so wonderful and lovely. And it also does drain me sometimes after a while. So we have, what was I going to show you? This is going to be essentially my new books and a couple of new things that I wanted to show you. Your birthday vlog still stands. I just have one little thing that I wanted to show you, and then I will give you a reading update at the end. So I am reading Julia Hungry. This is by Hannah Louise Poston. Actually, I just received it. I have read a couple of poems, but I just received it in the mail. And if you don't know who Hannah is, she is a beauty reviewer here on this space. And I've always really enjoyed her channel because she talks about her inner life and the landscape of her inner life. And I've just always found the way that she thinks about the the turmoil and desire for grace in her own inner life. I found it always really relatable and identifiable, even if our struggles don't exactly align. And I also have known that I've been aware of the fact that she has been working on a poetry manuscript. My goodness, words today. That she has been working on a poetry manuscript for the better part of her young life. And it finally got published. And she actually was the winner of the Anthony Hiked Poetry Prize. It's a first book prize, and she is, getting the support that she needs as a first published poet out in the world. Several of her poems individually have been published, and I actually have read some of her poetry on my channel before. And so I know that this book has been a lifelong dream for her, and I'm just so glad to have Julia Hungry in my hands. And it's just an exciting day. Now I do want to end with, that was the last of it. That's the last of my new books, and I will end with a reading update. I am about a third or so of the way through Tana French's The Searcher, which is great. It's a little bit different than the Dublin Murder Squad series. Instead of a whole squad, we're following one main character, Cal, who is a retired Chicago cop wanting to find some peace and quiet, and he finds it in the fields of Ireland. What's different about this book versus the Double Murder Squad is that it really feels like a small, quiet little Irish village that Cal has stumbled upon, in this search to have a quieter, more calm life. And it's kind of like, the book's falling. This book has small town vibes. That's what I'm trying to say. Amid all the interruptions, this book has like small town vibes to the max. And I love that. And like there's like characters with a capital C in the fact that they feel like they have a position and a role in the town that they're living, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. And so I'm so glad. I'm so glad for this. And it's been just great. I also started and am a good bit through, I'm almost halfway through, Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan, which is one of the books that was longlisted for the Women's Prize in 2024, the Women's Prize for Fiction. And it's going okay. It's not, to me, the beginning is very frenetic and a little all over the place. And it seems like when we get to part 2, she's actually writing the story she wants to tell. And in that way, the pacing has really kind of slowed down and she's a little more thoughtful. But there is a little bit of like suspending my disbelief in the book, which is a strange thing. So I also just finished Hannah Kent's Burial Rites, and I was very surprised by that in the best way. What else? What is my last? Oh, and then I'm finally I'm reading Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. I'm vlogging my experience with that, and it has been up and down. It's been weird, but good. Wow. All right, I think that's it. Tell me, what have you picked up recently? Anything good? Anything juicy? I want to know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will be better and more diligent with the next vlog. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.